Hello everyone, Carlos Flores back on basics. Before we begin this video, subscribe to my YouTube channel at Back on Basics 9985. Hit the notification button so you can get notified of any new video that comes on board. If you have a suggestion, a topic, a question, or if you want me to give you my take on anything, put it in the comment section and I'll be more than happy to do so. And connect with me on social media outlets. On Facebook, you can search for me, Carlos Flores Jr. On Instagram, on X, and on Threads. I love that. You can type in at Back on Basics, and on WhatsApp, you can type in at Back on Basics 9985. So, let's continue talking about motivation. There's not enough time to talk about motivation and different types of motivation. But let's also talk about motivation and resiliency. Because you know what? Being resilient needs motivation. Being resilient means putting in the work. Being resilient means that you have gotten to a point when your motivation just adds and adds and adds and adds to what you're doing, what you're moving forward, what you are about to do, and what you want to do. And so motivation drives a lot of different things. And there's two different types of motivation. And I've gone over them in other videos, but I want to make sure that I touch base with you here. So that way we can go over. Check my shorts. It sounds funny when I say that. And I apologize, but it's check my shorts. I made one in Spanish, one in English. And I made a micro short on Instagram on the two types of motivations. I want to make sure that you know how to name them. I want to make sure that you know where motivation usually comes from for us as human beings. And so, so here, let's just get down to it. So the first type of motivation, it's called extrinsic motivation, which means external. Everything comes externally. It's kind of like, when I feed the cats in the morning, that's their external motivation. They get up, they go, they know where to go, right? They know that they have to go to the kitchen, they have to, and eventually when I put the food down, they eat, right? That's externally. They're being motivated externally to get up, right? Because they've been taking a nap overnight, and then eat because they're hungry. And so, just the fact that they're coming to get food and they know what to do, they know what to do and they're doing it. That just drives them because that's an external, because they don't know what they're getting. Sometimes, I feed them a little bit of, always kibble. That's the dry food. It's always a must. But there's times where I give them a little bit of, I give them food in the morning, soft food in the morning for both of them. But I may give them a little bit of, like catnip, treats, just a couple of things, a bite, so that way they can have that olfactory smell that they have. And so again, right? They don't know what's happening every single day. It could be a little bit different every day. But that is an example of external motivation or extrinsic motivation. And so we as human beings have a lot of different extrinsic motivators. For example, right? When we work, we get a paycheck. That's externally. And a lot of the times, external motivation or extrinsic motivation, you can touch, you can see, you can follow it. And so those are the things that I want to make sure that you understand, because external motivators are everywhere. It could be, it could be the people that are supporting you, right? Your support system. They motivate you externally, right? It's not within you, it's external. Whenever I talk about putting in the work, Kobe Bryant, may he rest in peace, right? That's for him is, for me, he motivates me externally because I watch his videos, I watch his clips, I watch some of the things that he used to do when he played. I mean, he was just amazing. And so that motivates me externally because I'm seeing it, because I can search for the ones that I want to see, or I can listen to some of the things that he used to talk about, because he was very wise for his age. He was very wise. And so that's an example of external motivation. Extrinsic motivation. Another example of external motivation is food. Just like the cats, we get hungry, right? And so we are externally motivated to do something. So we cook, or we have food already prepared and eat. We do a lot of different things. And so externally, right, it's tangible because you can see the food, you can feel the food, you can smell the food, right? And so again, that's an example of external motivation. So extrinsic motivation means that there's things all around you that you can see, you can touch, you can feel, you can tangibly hold it, you can follow it visually. There's a lot of different things. These things can motivate you to move forward. Why do you think I always talk about Kobe Bryant? Because I know that he put in the work. And his work that he puts in, that's the thing that just gets to me, because he does put in the work. And so it's amazing the things that he did. And so, I that motivates me externally to do so. The second type of motivation is intrinsic motivation. Intrinsic motivation means internal. Intrinsic motivation are your beliefs, your life experiences, your challenges, your resilience, right? Your resiliency, not resilience, resiliency, your ability to adapt. I mean, for me also, internal motivation, intrinsic motivation, is something that really you can't see unless, right? Unless you can feel the drive, you can feel the motivation, you can feel driven to get to a point where you're to putting in the work, but you're also getting closer and closer and closer to where you want to get to. It's amazing. It's an amazing feeling, ladies and gentlemen. And I know that you've had it because you've been motivated more often than not by intrinsic motivation. Like, for example, right? These videos that I'm making, they drive me intrinsically. I mean, I'm always smiling. I'm an introvert. That's what you should see that. I'm an introvert, so I keep it to myself. I'm not much a person that talks much, but you see how motivated I am? You see how motivated of all the videos that I've made? An intrinsic and then and somebody that's internal, somebody that keeps it to himself most of the time. I am so motivated, so driven, so resilient to make these videos every single day because I want to, because I want you to have different topics, because I want you to see different aspects of psychology and life balance. And so I want to make sure that you have it, so that way you can see it, so that way you can go back and watch it again. So you can subscribe to my YouTube channel at Back on Basics 9985. So that way you can forward it to people around you, because the people around you, ladies and gentlemen, will be appreciative, because what you need may not be the same thing that they need. And that's what internal drive, internal motivation, intrinsic motivation is all about. And so, sometimes it's just, somebody asked me, they said, Carlos, what about religion? Well, religion is internal, intrinsic motivation. And that's pretty interesting, because a lot of the times it's here. It's here. It comes from within. We can't touch it, we can't see it, but it comes from within. And so you have to understand that a lot of the times when you're talking about religion, when you're talking about philosophy, when you're talking about you know, different things that just drives you, right? And sometimes you don't even know why it's driving you. It's because it's internally. It's because you can't really see it, but you feel it. And I'm telling you, you feel it. And sometimes it's good motivation. Sometimes it may be negative motivation. And later on I will make a video about positive and negative motivation because they both drive you, but they lead to slightly different results. But again, right? Why do I pray every morning? It's because it drives me internally. It motivates me internally. But everybody, as I'm doing it, I think about the different aspects. I think about life, right? That's internal motivation. I can't touch life. I can't do this, but I can think about it. I can focus about it. I can do many different things. And so I'm giving you examples of internal motivation. Whenever I write a poem, that's driven internally. That's another intrinsic motivation. It drives me internally. And so again, the two ways of being motivated are so different that some people like external motivation, which is the extrinsic motivation. Some people like internal motivation, which is intrinsic motivation. You can have a combination of both, ladies and gentlemen. You can do that. If you're able to hone, and if you're able to focus, and if you're able to just channel the motivation, internal and external, you're going to move forward. You're going to be putting in the work, just like I'm doing every single day, putting in the work, right? And you will get to wherever you want to get to. You will do the activities that you want to do, and you'll be the activities that you have to do. So remember, there's two types of motivation: intrinsic, which is internal, extrinsic, which is external. Utilize them. Drive yourself, motivate yourself internally and externally. Figure out your why, and it'll help you. It'll help you see the external motivations, and it'll help you feel the internal motivations. Keep at it. You'll get it. Do the work, and you'll get to it. Back on basics.